Thank you, Sheila, and thank you, candidates. I'm Joe Spear with the Mankato Free Press, and thank all of you for coming here tonight. It looks like we have a great crowd. We begin our debates with opening statements by the candidates. Each candidate having 2 minutes. We have drawn numbers, actually in this case, with the coin, to determine the order. We will then move on to public policy issues, focusing on 3 important topics: economy, energy, and foreign policy. Each candidate will have 2 minutes with a 1-minute follow-up. Next, the candidates will respond to audience questions. We have made note cards available to you, and the student volunteers will be coming around to collect them. After the audience questions, candidates will each be given 2 minutes for closing statements. Our timekeepers tonight are Kelly Beers and Ryan Neeson from Minnesota State University. We wish to thank them for helping us keep on schedule and on track. Now, let the debate begin. And for the opening statement, we go to Brian Davis.
Joe, thank you very much. Can everyone hear me? Way in the back? Good. And Jim and Congressman Walz and everyone that's here, I'd like to thank you for being here this evening. My name is Brian Davis, and I'm the Republican nominee for the 1st Congressional District of Minnesota. I want to tell you that I'm often asked why I'm running for this office. It's because I became immediately concerned after the 2006 election about the direction of the liberal leadership in Congress appeared to want to take our country. So I visited with state leaders and I was encouraged to run. And this has been a great process to participate in our democracy. Traveled over 70,000 miles across this great district this last summer, went to 52 parades. I'm a resident of Rochester. I'm a physician on leave of absence. I think it's very important to participate in the democratic process. I have 4 children, ages 5 through 14, and they really enjoy campaigning. This is better than any social studies class. I can tell you, they go to parades. I have a 7-year-old daughter who's very rambunctious and really likes to be part of the parades. During the summer, she gets so involved, and I can tell you one evening at dinner, she couldn't sit still. And I said, "When? You know, you need to sit still or you're going to have to go to your room." Well, she didn't sit still, and I had to take her to her room. Picked her up gently. Halfway up the stairs, she screamed at the top of her lungs, "I'm not voting for you!" I was taking it just a little bit too seriously. But I will tell you, as a principled conservative, I took her to her bedroom anyhow. She stayed there for 45 minutes, came back down to the dinner table and looked up at me and she said, "Dad, that's okay. I'll vote for it." You know, I didn't have to bribe her like a career politician might either. You know, it's our founding fathers' vision of a free nation, including the free enterprise system, is to build the wealth of this nation. And as a general philosophy, I know that government is designed to play a role to support the free enterprise system in a just manner. The government can never replace it, nor do I believe it should try.
Thank you. Congressman Walz, you have 2 minutes for your opening statement.
Well, thank you to Jim and Joe and to Debate Minnesota for your lofty and admirable goals of civil discourse in our political process. A special thank you to Minnesota State University for hosting this event. I'd like to also thank my family. Gwen is here, my daughter Hope, and Gus, whose 2nd birthday is today. He's out playing with the new truck, so if you hear the noise, that's where it's coming from. A special thank you to each of you for participating in our process. With democracy comes incredible gifts and incredible opportunities, but also incredible responsibilities. Being engaged in the process and understanding what's happening and rising above the simple political rhetoric that is so often seems like the only part of this. Politics and government are not synonymous. We've taken incredible responsibility to govern ourselves, not the wealthy, not the privileged, not those there by birth, but individual average people, just like those that fill this room. So I thank you for being here. I never planned my life to run for Congress, but my life prepared me well. I taught school just a few blocks from where we sit right now, teaching lessons of responsibility as well as social studies and geography in that classroom. Many of those same athletes and in extracurriculars activities, I taught those students and those things, taught them on the football field. And some of them, and I think some of them were even in the audience, went a step further and I trained them in our National Guard units and they defended this nation in Iraq, defending our freedoms. I was sent to Washington 2 years ago very clearly, not because of ideology, but to change the tone of how things were done. to work together to get things done. I did that. I built support to pass the single largest package for the veterans in this nation's history. I worked together to get a farm bill that rebuilds and re-energizes rural America. And I worked with local officials on projects like Highway 14 and 60 to make sure these important arteries are not only safe, but they move the economy. That's what I was sent to do. That's what this country needs right now. And that's what I'll continue to do for you over the next few years. Thank you.